There we go. So mindset, lead generation mindset, hugely important. So let me just start off by saying this. With lead generation, I mean, you've been doing it for a bit now. You kind of know some of what it's like.
Yeah,
On the one hand, if you just do it consistently, you're going to see results from it. So never mind the mindset. There's something about just committing yourself to doing it. But what I find is to make what we do as good as it can be and actually get the kind of results we want and build the kind of business that we want to build. Um, and to be in the right framework as we're doing it, mindset is huge.
yeah,
So let me kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about by pointing out the wrong mindsets, just to kind of clarify what I'm talking about. Like I've got a list of five wrong mindsets that I can think of that I've seen in myself or with other agents. One is having a getting attitude as we're doing lead generation as opposed to giving.
okay,
So, like, in other words, every conversation that we're doing when we're doing lead generation is always a sell. People can feel that when you're trying to get something from them, and it breaks down trust. I mean, you probably feel that when people are trying to sell you something,
right,
you can just feel it. It's like a
yeah,
hustle. People are trying to get something from you. We want to have well, I don't want to get into that. The negative attitude and mindset would be getting attitude. Another one would be sheepish, a sheepish mindset. So like we're not sure of our value. So when we're making a offer to a potential lead, we're apologetic. We're not confident. People feed off of your confidence. So it's so critical to find that space of being confident when we're doing what we're doing, and we need to have some source of confidence other than just
yeah,
our ego as we're doing it. So when you're feeling sheepish, we're in a wrong mindset. Another wrong mindset would just be laziness when it comes to lead generation. And laziness is this comes from this idea that lead generation is optional. I'll just do it
yeah,
later. And so once you decide one day on a Wednesday, because I separated 2 to 4 p.m. to do lead generation and I'm not feeling it today and the weather's bad and the whatever, and I don't do it, once you make that decision, it becomes that much more difficult to follow through with lead generation the next day. And eventually it becomes habitual that
yeah,
we do it hit and miss. So then another one would be not prioritizing lead gen. So in other words, my son has got this issue at school and I've got to do this and I've got to get groceries today and I got to and we let all these other things become higher priority and become the reason that we didn't do lead generation today. And in real estate, you have to actually get into a place where the priority is lead gen. That's the highest priority in the business, actually, in terms of like the actions that we do.
yeah,
And
it
then
really do matter.
it's without lead generation, the rest of the business, everything comes from lead generation. All the
Yeah,
clients with happy smiles on their faces. If we don't start with lead generation, we don't even have those clients to make happy. So, and then another one, final one would be uh, like a hack mindset. What I mean is like I want to set it and forget it. I want to have some automated way to do lead gen so I don't ever have to do it. And the reality is, even though I mean, you know that I believe this, we need to have automations. We need to use AI and all that. At the end of the day, people are going to hire you and me because they've made a connection with us personally. And that's something
yeah,
that AI cannot do. I mean,
yeah,
it can help create posts or something like that, but the posts have to be us, not some automated, computer generated image.
right.
So at the
People
end of the
need to
day,
talk to you.
we have to put ourselves out there. Uh, we can't be waiting only for people to come to us. We have to be going to them in some way, even if it's on social media. So
Yes,
having said those things, does that make sense as far as you getting kind of a feel for where I'm going with this as far as wrong mindsets?
You can't not do it. It's not gonna work. Yeah. You
100%.
right. Gotta commit those hour or two every day to that. Just calling and talking to people, following up, and like searching for new people, making ads. Yeah.
Doing whatever strategy you have. So mindset as we're doing it, I mean, some of it's the discipline of doing it, like you just said, but some of it's also the mindset that we have as we're doing it. So a couple mindsets, and if we don't have the time, because I'm gonna cut it a little bit short because I to pivot and talk about some other stuff just to take care of business. But let's see how far we can go. One thing that is so important with from mindset is understanding this that we're in the lead generation business to be thinking this way. I'm in the lead generation business and I happen to do real estate. Does that make sense?
Yes, that's how you gotta look at
Yes.
it.
I'm in the lead
Your
generation
first
business.
business is lead generation. Yeah.
So many realtors, it's like we get our license and we think, okay, I'm a realtor now, and we have our idea of what that may mean, and from HGTV, and we're showing homes, and we're looking at documents or whatever, and all that stuff is good. But if our business is only going to thrive if we are thinking, our mindset is, my job is to generate leads. And I happen to be doing real estate. That's the kind of leads I'm doing. Hopefully, you and I love doing real estate. I do.
Yeah.
But the job, the first priority when you wake up tomorrow morning as a realtor is generate leads. 100%. Generating leads, following up with leads, everything flows from that. So um, I like to, yeah, never mind. I'm just going to say this. So the point there,
What do you do? What do you like to do?
as far as how to lead gen,
Yeah.
I've done so many different things through the years, but I mean, my story has been in I was doing a bunch of calling for sale by owners, calling expired leads, doing stuff like that, and I completely burnt out because I realized it's not me. And
Yeah.
that was in 2022, and I pivoted at that time up till very recently to only doing sphere of influence. So it's just
Yeah.
calling people or DMing people on social media, whatever I just to keep a conversation going. And it's
Yeah.
not always about real estate. It's just like talking
Making
to
a
people.
yeah.
But then I'll intentionally drip in some, real estate stuff every once in a while. And all those people are on like a drip campaign as well. So like they're being nurtured and yeah,
Yeah.
so it's just
I gotta get
relationship.
that going. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, recently I've
That
been
was
doing
these
other stuff.
people.
I've been reaching out to retiring agents in Atlanta, and now I'm beginning to start to reach out to people who are going to become agents and recruit them into Agent Growth Collective. So I'm doing other stuff now, but like
Yeah.
that's what I was doing. Here's what I would say though, as far as that mindset is bottom line, in order for what I just said to make a difference is actually blocking time for doing it.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, Jada. Are you doing that?
No.
Well, what's going on? How are you doing it?
I want to do it in the mornings, but my morning's so unstructured right now with my kids. They not in daycare. Me and Kevin, our relationship rocky. Like I'm just trying to get organized, Paul. For real. I don't even got no excuse. But I want to do it like first thing in the morning, like 10, 11 o'clock, and maybe do another hour like in the evening when people get off work. So that's what I'm gonna work towards doing. Like maybe at 4 to 5, do an hour of calling, and then in the morning between 10 and 11 or 11 and 12.
Yeah. So let me ask you. Let's go back to that first thing with the kids. That's because it's summer and they're not in
Yeah,
school, so you don't have that structure.
yeah, I
Okay.
gotta have my quiet time. But I'm working on getting them both back in daycare for the remainder of the summer. And of course, when the fall comes, well, they go back in June. I mean, they go back in September. They're gonna
Yeah.
be in school. But yeah, before then, I want to capture now. So yeah, I'm a really this week I'm gonna really try to make sure I wake up and set an alarm and do it because I haven't been doing it, and I feel embarrassed to even talk about it.
Well, this is the thing though. I mean, like this is where rubber meets the road. And let me just say this. Today, you and I are reaping the crop of the seeds that we sowed in lead generation yesterday. I mean, it's
Yeah,
full stop. And tomorrow, whatever, next week, next month, we're going to reap the crop then of seeds we sowed today. We have to remember that. So if we're wanting our real estate career to flourish, we have to not just talk about lead generation and whatever. It has to become literally the priority. And the only way for it to become the priority is when it gets on a calendar. Until it's on a
yeah,
calendar, like this is what I'm doing, just like we would anything else. I got to get groceries on Thursday or whatever, and I've got to pick up the kids from school at 3 o'clock every day. Like that's on our we that's just what we do. You have to approach lead generation that way or else the real estate career will not overcome the initial hurdle.
yeah,
So that would be my challenge for you today is to actually block time to make sure this happens. Otherwise, as long as it's not on the calendar, it's never going to be the priority. If it's never the priority, you're you're going to reap rewards from a lack of priority type of approach.
yeah. You're right.
I've spoken and I've been around and interacted with so many of the top producing agents through the past like 10 years. Every single one of them, I mean, all sorts of different personalities, all sorts of different backgrounds, but the common denominator is people are ruthlessly disciplined with doing the stuff that actually generates business. That's like,
Yeah,
so. So you can do it, Jada. Now, as far as like you and Kevin and all that kind of stuff, that's another story.
yeah.
And your kids as well. Like, this is real life.
Hmm.
If you can put them in daycare and that's like good for your kids and that's good for your family and all of that, then that's awesome. If you can't, if there are circumstances that you just can't do that, then I
You
mean,
gotta work around it.
I work around it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're right.
Find ways to do it. Um, so yeah, I'll just say one other thing. There's four things, but let's just cover two today. So we're in the lead generation business and we happen to do real estate. Agreed?
Agreed.
Okay. That's your job, Jada. You're good at it. You can do it. The second thing is we're in the relationship business and we happen to do real estate. So it's similar to the other one, but it kind of ties into what I was saying as far as my approach. We have to be relational with our lead generation. And so let me just like say what I mean by this. When you do lead generation, the statistics show that the um, the results are exponentially better when you make human contact with the person. So if you're talking to them on the phone, like that's good, but it's not human contact. DMing them, that's good. Like there is a level of human contact there, but a chatbot can do that. I mean, a
Yeah,
freaking chatbot can even handle a phone call. So
yes,
there's something that happens. I don't know even how to explain it. There's something that happens when a person is in your physical presence and they see your gestures. They make eye contact with you. They get the feel of you. I don't know. All I can tell you is getting face to face with a person exponentially changes the game. That's when
Okay.
people start to think of you as their realtor. That's when they decide to work with you. I don't know if it's that they just like you or if it's that they feel bad to like now I've like met you. So it's like I feel like I'm like commit. I've got to, I don't want to reject you. I don't know what it is, but I think it's trust. It's like humans,
Yeah.
as long as I'm talking to you on the phone, I've never even seen your face and all that. You're just like a robot out there somewhere. But as soon as like I've sat across the table, you've been on my in my house or whatever, it changes the game. So my whole point there is all of our lead generation needs to try to get there. It's your mindset. You got to remember, I'm not just trying to get them into my CRM. I'm trying to get face to face with them. That makes sense?
So like one client that I have, well, she's one of my people that I'm trying to get. She wants to buy a house. I feel like she doesn't have a pre-approval. Should I have a meeting? Like, should I go visit her and maybe talk to her about it, or not yet? Wait until
Yeah, that's such a good question. So sorry, this person came in how? How did you?
this is my aunt, family friend, lady that I call my aunt. She's been every time I post, she always like, I can't wait to buy a house. And so I was telling her like, what's stopping you? Like, what's wrong? Have you done your taxes for the last 2 years? What's your credit score? So it's really nothing like that's really stopping her. Expect she just don't feel like she can be a homeowner. But should
Hmm.
I get in her face? Like go to her house and just talk to her or what? Or you
When
wait
you say
until they're
when you say get in her face, I don't know. It sounds threatening, but but so okay, awesome question because this is where rubber meets the road. So like in that scenario, this person you call her your aunt. This is already like somebody who knows you. They've connected with you. That person, it's like the box is ticked. I'm talking
she's
about
lane A.
yeah, I'm talking about cold leads, like people that come in off of Instagram. Uh, you're wanting, I mean, Instagram actually might be a bit of a different thing to reference, and let's go there real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to necessarily get face to face with every person on Instagram because if they're completely not qualified, you're wasting your time.
Right.
But if you can personalize, so like since you're doing a lot on social media, let me say it this way, you want to make it personal. And you're doing that. I mean, what you said you're doing with your stories. That's exactly what we're talking about. You're getting into a conversation with them.
Okay.
And so maybe something to consider would be instead of having a phone call, see if they'll do a FaceTime call.
Okay.
Like do the exact same thing, but it's a little bit more personal. Um, it's not as good because you still don't have the full human connection, but
Right.
it is better when a person's actually like seeing you. So stuff like that. Just be thinking, I want
Yeah.
to lead to making if this is a hot prospect, I want to get face to face with them. Um, I'm gonna pause it there. There's a couple other mindset shifts like who to focus on as we're doing our lead generation and also the idea of like how to come from contribution. That's how I like to say it. I'm going to pause there. We can pick that up probably next week. Do you have any questions on any of
Okay.
that or thoughts or
No, do FaceTime calls with cold leads, hot prospects, get in person, face to face. So hot prospects get in person, face to face. You talking about at the point where I find out if they're ready, willing, and able.
yeah. Yeah. So like the people that you're having phone conversations with, why don't you try? Maybe it might be worth seeing if they would be willing to do Zoom or FaceTime and see how that works and see if it
Okay.
adds to the connection and the commitment. But
Okay.
to answer your question, that conversation that you're having is a what we call a pre-qualifying conversation. You're seeing if they're ready, willing, and able. If they are, you're correct. Then it's definitely worth setting an appointment. And if they are, you want to set that appointment right there in that pre-qualifying conversation. Let them know. Next step is that we need to sit down. We need to,
Figure out what type of house you want.
yeah, we need to look at a strategy to get you into the house that you need for the best deal and the best terms.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna cut the recording off here.